Hey guys, good morning. So welcome to Dave's Hobby Shop. We're here in one of my favorite ponds in Pampanga, and we're gonna be doing some dalag fishing this morning. So brought my regular setup, China telescopic rod, Daiwa Kix 1500 with 6 pounds braid, and my DV jump frogs. Interesting morning. So as we started out, second cast of the morning, my rod broke. I snapped it in half, as in just literally snapped it in half. So I've had to improvise. I've collapsed one of the sections, put it together, and to stop it from falling out, I've just tied it off with a little straw that I found on the side of the road. It works. I can't cast it far. My accuracy's a little bit off. The straw keeps sticking everywhere, but should be a fun morning. So stay with me as we do some fishing, and I'm here with Mom, and hopefully we come home with a couple of fish this morning. Baby tilapia. Isang katutak na baby tilapia. It's not good for me. Yun ang malaki. Yung pasag, pag medyo may base na konti, yung globe, palaki ng isla ng konti. So ang ano namin, bato ka ng 5 beses, 4 na beses, lipat. Ay, malaki po ito, ma. Maliit ang line ko. Morning. So when fishing for dalag, we will be looking at our spots. You'll see here there's a lot of vegetation on the sides. There's a lot of open spaces in this pond. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be casting to the sides. We want to work all of the sides as much as possible. Make sure that we stay as close to the bank. Watch out for the trees, the weeds on the sides. I do have a jump frog. It is semi-weedless, but there is a chance that we do get caught up on the trees and or the kangkong on the side, but this is ideal. So we want to make sure we do a couple of casts all on the side, keep it as close to the bank as possible. I'm seeing a lot of small tilapia fry jumping out of the water as the frog comes over. Not a very good sign, because if there's small fish on that side of the area, that means that there's no predators that are chasing it. So again, just a couple of casts each side. Make sure you cover all of the banks. Almost 9 out of 10 dalag that you catch will be on the banks, unless that the water is going to be very shallow or that you've got a very deep diving lure. Now that I'm using a jump frog, I am not confident that we will catch anything in the middle, but just to make sure, a couple of nice casts. We want to hit all angles, make sure our frog's jumping nicely. As you can see, my line is twisting, my line is tangling. Not ideal, especially since we snapped our rod in the very beginning. But nothing's gonna stop us from fishing, right? So, yeah, 2 more casts in this area and then we walk. So it is early morning, it's like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I am seeing too much bait fish in the water. I'm not happy with that. I'm gonna move to a different spot. Nice thing about this pond is that there are casting areas on both sides. So again, find an open spot, do a nice cast parallel to the bank, slowly work your jump frog. Hopefully we'll get a few good strikes today. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling grumpy. I did snap one of my favorite rods. And it wasn't a crack, it was a break. So, could be one of the last times I use this rod. So we want to make sure we go out with a bang. So I am a fan of telescopic rods simply because I'm always on the go, I'm always out. Telescopic rods just are more convenient for me. I know a lot of people out there don't like them, but for me, I would rather have 1 or 2 telescopic rods in the car versus having some really big rods that I really wouldn't be able to use or are convenient to store. But again, it's also based on your scenario. So here in this area, I know that there's very few snags. There's a lot of casting areas. I'm okay with using a telescopic rod. But if I was gonna go heavy cover, I would definitely try to bring a 2-piece heavy rod, nice 20-30 pounds line, and just to give me that comfort that if I do get stuck up, I will be able to retrieve my lure, and I should be able to get my I should be able to get the fish as well if I get one, because the last thing you want is to go heavy cover with very light line, catch a fish, not be able to land it because the weeds are too strong. So again, everywhere I'm casting, all of the sides, there's just bait fish everywhere, small little bait fish that are jumping up, which I'm not a fan of, because I mean, logic says dalag are predator fish. So if you have a predator and there are a lot of bait fish, that means that the bait fish aren't scared, which means that chances are there isn't a predator in that immediate area. But I've been wrong before, so you always still want to give it a couple of casts. So earlier this morning when I got here, there were tilapia floating everywhere. In general, what I've seen is that if the tilapia are floating, the dalag are not biting. So I'm not sure if you guys see that as well, but it's one of the patterns I've seen in the different pods we fish. As long as I see tilapia floating, I'll make casts, but I won't spend too much time in a certain location because I'm pretty sure that I won't be able to catch much. Nice swirl, nice swirl. That did not look like a tilapia swirl. With a broken rod, I don't have a lot of force on the rod, so I do not want to be in the kangkong area too much, or the heavy vegetation area, because I know that there's not a lot of pressure I can put on my rod. Ooh, there's a turtle that just floated. I've never caught a turtle on a frog lure. That'd be awesome if they, but that thing would just bite my frog lure. Chances are they won't, but it'd be pretty cool if they did. All right. Strike. Baby. Here we go. There has to be Dalag here. There absolutely has to be. There's no way that there's not a Dalag here. There's no way that there's not a Dalag here. I told you. There's no way that there's not a Dalag here. Hello.